Hey everybody, welcome back to Outside Office Hours. If you've seen our channel, you know that we really love skiing. And since it's the beginning of the ski season, we want to talk through the top 7 cool ski gadgets that we like, that we think make your day on the mountain a little bit simpler and a little more comfortable. So let's get started. The first gadget is pretty simple, but a goggle cover. A lot of goggles will come with one of these, but you can also pick them up in any ski shop or on Amazon. And you can get cool designs on them and stuff. But the main point is so that whenever you're not wearing your goggles, you cover them up with this thing so that you don't scratch them. Because ski goggles are pretty expensive, and you know, if you're not careful with them, you throw them in a bag or something without the cover, they're gonna get scratched. So spend a couple bucks, take an extra second, put the goggle cover on, and you'll be happy you did. The next item. So this is actually more of a piece of clothing than a gadget, but it's one of my favorite things, so I think it's worth mentioning. So this is a balaclava by this company Cirrus, and it's got, you know, a face covering, so it keeps you nice and warm whenever it's cold and the wind's blowing. But one of the coolest things about this one in particular, I think, is that it's got this magnetic strip so that you can pull this off, and then you can, you know, talk without being as muffled or eat or drink something or whatever. But then when you go to put it back on, it attaches relatively easily because it's magnetic. And again, you know, it seems like a small thing, but when you're doing that a bunch of times and it's really cold on the ski lift and you've got mittens on and, you know, you're not as, you know, able to use your fingers as much as you would otherwise, it helps to have little conveniences like this. Next, we have our Clipstic. So this is a pretty handy little thing. You use this, you attach it to your skis whenever they're together like that, and it has holders for your poles as well, so you can put everything together in the same spot, and it just makes it really easy to carry. If you've ever carried skis and poles and boots and stuff around the mountain, it's kind of a lot. You got your hands full, and this is just a neat little gadget that makes your life a little easier, especially when you're walking from the car. Sometimes you have to walk, you know, kind of far to get to the lift. All right, our next item, this little curved piece of plastic here. So this is actually a pass holder. Now, this was probably a little more relevant in prior years before a lot of, you know, ski resorts started having the RFID passes that'll scan in your pocket. But I kind of like keeping it still. You can put it on your goggles right here, and it'll stay there. You can fold your pass in, and that way you kind of always know where your pass is. If you have one pair of goggles, you're, you know, probably gonna remember to take your goggles. If you keep, you know, if you keep the pass in your pocket or something, you're gonna, you might forget the pass. So it's just a kind of a neat little thing that makes life a little bit easier. All right, next we have our brand new boot strap here. So again, kind of like in the same vein as the Clipstic, right? There's lots of stuff to carry when you're skiing or snowboarding. And you want to make sure you have a comfortable way to carry it. So this boot strap, it connects to both of your boots, and then you can kind of drape it around the back of your neck so that, you know, it's a little easier to carry the boots instead of, you know, wasting one arm, which you're gonna need to carry the skis, carrying your boots. All right, our next gadget, this is something I find really useful. So, and I bought this thing after a wonderful but wet trip to Whistler. So it is a boot dryer. So, of course, you saw me just pull this out of the boots. So at the end of the day, your ski boots will be wet, either from sweat or from, you know, melted snow, whatever, right? And there's nothing worse the next day than putting on wet, cold ski boots. So you put this nice little thing inside your ski boot overnight. It absorbs all the moisture and yeah, and you're good to go. It keeps them nice and dry. The last gadget. So here we have this SnoStrip attached to the side of the car. So this thing's really cool. You, if you've gone skiing, you have probably experienced trying to lean your skis up against your vehicle, likely unsuccessfully, in the parking lot. And this little gadget helps address that problem. So it's magnetic, and honestly, I keep this thing in my car all the time. It sticks right there to the side of the car, and you can lean, you know, I guess you could lean up to, you know, whatever, 4 or 5 pairs of skis. You know, you can also keep your poles there if you need to, but that way, you know, you don't have to worry about your skis falling over and messing up the edges and stuff. And it's just a way, again, to, you know, make things a little bit more comfortable and efficient while you're getting ready to spend the day on the mountain. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed that. Those are our 7 ski gadgets that you should consider picking up this year if you don't have them. If you liked this content, please give it a like, consider subscribing, leave a comment if you've used any of these things or any others. And yeah, thanks for watching.